For a movie called Robot Wars, there were no Robot Wars.
When he was giving direction to the actors, like if at points they kind of started to act well, he must have instructed them and said, no, that's somewhat believable. I need you less believable.
Which one do you want Donkey Punch harder? We gotta stop doing this and that.
All right, Jamie, tell me, Robot Wars, why did you torture me and make me watch this film?
I don't know. I want you to join. I think I've seen it, so I just wanted to join. I wanted you to join my misery, dude. I didn't want to be the only one who saw that.
Okay. So explain to our audience what Robot Wars is.
So Robot Wars is a 1993 production by Full Moon Features, proprietors of many B movies in the 80s and 90s. There's not much to it because for a movie called Robot Wars, there's not a lot of Robot Wars.
That was my thought. I'm like, where are all the Robot Wars at?
So it's about this hotshot mech pilot, and he's trying to woo a damsel, and some bad guys take one of the robots, and they're going to start a global war. But our good guy stops him and gets the girl. And that's kind of it. And there's one little robot war at the beginning. And then the only other robot war until the very end is like when he and his partner are playing with robot toys at the bar. And that's like the most exciting robot war pretty much throughout the whole movie until the end.
I like how you include the playing with the toys as one of the Robot Wars.
That's all
we don't
got,
really get
man.
a lot of Robot Wars. So you get a couple, you get the big fight at the end. But before that, you get the, guys playing with the robots at the bar.
Yeah, I'll take what I could get. For a movie called Robot Wars, there were no Robot Wars. But it's the same production company that actually did Robot Jocks. Do you know about that movie?
I know about that movie. I haven't seen that one either.
So you might actually like that one because it's actually pretty good. It's got the same similar robot, stop motion thing, but it's actually pretty fun. The acting, the writing's a lot better. And it's kind of like a Ray Harryhausen-ish kind of robot thing. And it's actually a lot of fun, unlike this one, which is not fun.
No.
This one was hard to watch.
It's like the director, when he was giving direction to the actors, like if at points they kind of started to act well, he must have instructed them and said, no, that's somewhat believable. I need you less believable, a bit more over the top, a bit more ridiculous. Yes, that's what I want. Ridiculous.
Yeah, that's true. Especially like the main character when he's like, and of course he's always having a problem with his boss because back then you weren't cool unless you had a problem with your boss. We gotta stop doing this and that. It's like, whoa, that main character, though, his name was Drake. Did you not want to just donkey punch that guy right in the back of the head?
Dude, that's part of the problem with this film is your main protagonist is the worst person in the film. Like, you fucking hate him. Like, seriously.
I do. And the best part of the movie is when he got hit in the face by that girl. And I was like,
yeah.
Best part of the movie. Because I wanted to go behind him and donkey punch that guy. I can't stand that character.
Well, and it's so annoying too because he's such a douchebag, and he's like, "Oh, hey, baby, you're gonna get with me," and she's like, "Oh, I hate you," and you're like, "Okay," so 2 minutes later, they're gonna be like into each other, and it was just the most ridiculous, unbelievable storyline of them, the two of them getting together.
Yeah, when I do that to real girls and they punch me, and that's it.
Yeah,
I never see them again.
You don't hook up with them later on.
No, they don't want to see me. Because when I act like a douchebag and they punch me, and then that's it. That I don't get together with them again.
And he's a douchebag to his partner too. He's like, fucking, go do that, go do this, and his partner's just like, I'm kind of mildly whatever, and whatever you say, Captain Boss, whatever he was calling him.
Yeah, because everybody needs kind of that dim-witted sidekick who's good with machines, right? If you're a studly guy, you need your hacker man.
Yep.
What was up with the helmets? Like all the passengers wear these teeny little helmets in the big robot. Like that little helmets.
Like, what is that supposed to do? Like, yeah.
I fell, but luckily I have this teeny little skull cap.
Helmet. Yeah. Well, and what's funny too is like when they're piloting the robot, like it's always moving, even when like it's stationary. Did you notice that? Like they've had the shots of them inside the captain, the pilots, and it's always just kind of, doing this, and you're like, it's stationary. It is currently at this moment stationary, not moving, and it's still doing this, like when the Asian general guy took it over and he's like lasering the building, and it's just like, why would he still be moving if he's just sitting there lasering a building?
That's pretty bad. But speaking of the Asian general guy, did he look familiar along with his younger counterpart?
Well, his younger counterpart looked familiar. Our good friend from Cobra Kai and the Karate Kid, and yes, the Asian general looked familiar too. But I couldn't,
because he was in Karate Kid Part 2 as well. He was the uncle Sato.
Oh, that's right.
They both kind of transfer. They're like, well, we can't get a job right now. We'll do Robot Wars.
Yeah,
and they went to this movie, but they were together in Karate Kid Part 2.
That's what it was.
That guy's name is Danny Kamatona.
Yeah,
it was actually his last movie because he died 3 years later. He was only 60, so that's a big bummer. Here's something for you though. The younger guy, his name is Yuji Okumoto, and you'll never guess where he lives.
London, Seattle.
Nope, he lives in Shoreline.
Port Townsend.
No, Shoreline.
Well,
just north of Seattle.
That's cool.
He lives there, and he has a couple.
If I ever ran into him accidentally, man. I lived in Shoreline forever.
Really? Well, that's where he lives. You may have gone to his restaurants because he actually owns 2 restaurants, one in Seattle and one in Linwood. They're called Kona Kitchen. They're like a Hawaiian Japanese fusion kind of thing.
Oh, I wonder if I went to the Linwood one.
You possibly could. He has the one in Linwood. So we're in your neck of the woods when you were here. So when you come back here, we're totally going to go, and maybe he'll be there, and maybe we can ask him about what it was like to star in this movie, Robot Wars, and get his perspective on it.
That would be awesome because everybody just asks him Karate Kid stuff, right?
I know, but if we go in and we're like, hey, we're geeks, and he's going to be like, how do you know about that? And he's going to get freaked out.
Oh, that's awesome. So, I didn't know
that's
that.
a little bit of trivia for you.
I knew the brunette girl. She did a bunch of stuff after this that actually was reasonably popular stuff.
Yeah, she's pretty hot.
The characters are so stereotypical. Even the brunette girl, she's like, oh, you're going to get some of that. Ooh, you like him, don't you? And then she saw the other guy. She's like, oh, I'm going to get with him. Oh, yeah. And it's like, okay, stereotypical, like slutty best friend, stereotypical lead who's a total jackass who hates authority, stereotypical authority boss who's like a total dimwit jackass. Yeah, exactly. Doesn't listen to his subordinates.
Everything was so stereotypical. That's the problem with this is it's just so stereotypical that it's almost stereotypical how stereotypical it is. And I don't know if that made sense.
It did. And the problem is because I love B movies. But the thing is, like, it has to be, there's something that makes a good B movie versus a bad B movie. And this, it did not make it a good B movie. It is a bad B movie.
I think the hardest part about it is it's just kind of boring because they don't have a lot of Robot Wars. And you're expecting Robot Wars for a movie called Robot Wars. And it's just the girl running around and the bad guys trying to get her, and then they reuse the sets all the time, like the totally. Terminal where they come in and they're talking there, and then they get back on and they go to somewhere else on the robot and they go out to the terminal. It looks just like the terminal they came from.
Yep, except for they changed the sign in the background that said the name of the thing or whatever.
It's a new place, new terminal. See,
totally
new sign. And then they don't have a lot of money, obviously, because they're like, okay, we're going to take a little tour to this town from the past.
From all the way back to 1993.
Yeah, and that way we can film a bunch of stuff in this town that we don't have to buy sets for.
Yeah, totally.
Look at this historical 1993 town. Yeah.
Yeah. The only thing believable looking in this film is this 1993 town because we're actually in one.
Yeah, because we don't have money for sets. And the sets were just like, they look like something out of Saved by the Bell. They even had those transparent bricks that they used in the 80s and 90s with those transparent like LA gym shower bricks that everybody had. And I don't know why they thought that looked futuristic, because you look at it now, you look like that set looked like it was made in 1993 because they're using those transparent bricks. And then, they got the futuristic outfits. They look like you got grandma's curtains or something and made these pseudo wannabe futuristic outfits. Look like something my grandma would wear.
And all your minions for the bad guys have that exact same thing, and they're all wearing the burglar masks. Like, do you remember the ones that had the burglar masks? And you're like, what are these guys with the burglar masks? This is literally like, what the fuck?
And then the Asian generals look like they work at like, Kung Pao Kitchen or whatever. We're Asian, by the way. Right. If you haven't, just in case you don't know.
Let's make it look even more. Oh, and we'll invite you to see our little Asian fights thing with the sticks later on.
Just in case. Yeah, just in case you didn't know.
More obvious. Oh, and even in the beginning when it was kind of towards the end, but when there's a group of people out in the desolate wasteland and our hero is kind of hidden and shoots a bunch of them from behind, and it was like they're just all the bad guys are lined up, and then the instruction was, okay, you drop. Now you drop. Okay, drop. Now you drop. And then we'll add this little laser effect in post. And so it was literally like a row of guys just fall to the ground with a laser effect. One of gets hit in the head. It's like, oh.
And when he was shooting him, he was like hidden all incognito. And then his partner comes and looks like he's trying to dig him out, but really he just has like some just plastic junk on him. He's like, let me help you, Cap. And he's taking the little plastic things off. And that's your hiding spot. Really, just a little bit of plastic things.
Yeah, get me out of here. And he's yelling at his assistant back there too. He's like his co-pilot, get me out of here. Like, get yourself out of there, dick bag. Oh, and he kept slapping the co-pilot too. It's like, hey, buddy. Like, go fuck yourself.
That's an abusive work relationship. So far, this guy is like sexually harassing, customers. He's physically and verbally abusing his coworker.
Yep.
Like, he's insubordinate against his boss.
Yep.
And how am I supposed to like this guy, actually? Like, how am I supposed to like this guy?
Yeah, there's nothing
I was hoping that he would. I was actually rooting for the Asian general dude, actually. I'm like, get him. Kill him.
Yes, kill him.
I was voting for the Scorpion one, man. I'm like, go Scorpion, Asian general.
Yeah.
Robot, get him. He's a douchebag. He deserves it.
Kill Drake. Kill
him.
So, yeah, that movie sucked, Jamie. Thanks for making me watch that. Oh, yeah, and my girlfriend watched that as well. So she also hates you for making her watch that.
Yeah, I was going to say, what's going to happen is, like, you're going to lose your girlfriend, not get married, because now you're doing double time on this kind of 80s, 90s schlock. And I'm just never going to get one. So eventually we're just going to be like hanging out. We'll be roommates in Linwood, like eating at Kona Cafe.
At least we'll be in Linwood and not Issaquah. So that's a bonus.
There's no Kona Cafe in Issaquah.
That's what I'm saying. And the brewery closed down, so you got nothing there. You got nothing. You got a motorcycle. You got a cool motorcycle dealership and drive-in burger joint.
We have a theater. We can go. I'm going to right next to my place. I can go request that they do a midnight screening of Robot Wars at the theater.
They could probably get it cheap. Yeah,
that'd be awesome. I wouldn't go. I'd make other people go. I'd make my son go. I'd be like, go watch this, dude.
He'd be like, screw you, Dad.
But I think the biggest thing, like, takeaways are the acting was off. It's just so dramatic. And the set design. Oh, I got a picture of it. I got a picture of
set
it.
Design.
No. I have a in the so the credits were like half the movie. That beginning credits.
Dude, totally. We when we were watching it, and we're like, these credits take forever. And I'm like, yeah, that's how they stretch it out to an actual feature length movie, is they have like 20 minutes of fucking credits in the opening.
Yeah, and it was actually I timed it. I went back and timed it. It's 3 minutes 10 seconds long.
Oh,
that's and it's just like credits, close-ups of. That's a long time. But you know what? I was watching it, man, because I'm dedicated. And I have a picture of this. I'll send it to you. You can look back at it yourself. During the opening credits, one comes up and it says production designer.
Oh, I saw that. Yes.
Milo.
Yes.
And it's not a last name. It's just Milo. And I'm like, good job, Milo. That's some awesome production design.
So cool. So cool. You don't need a last name.
You know how much I love those transparent 80s, 90s bricks. You put them in there just for me, brother. Thank you so much.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I had to do something in the 90s, 93. I was like, I wanted to be in the business, and you got to start out somewhere.
Yeah. So you did your first production design gig on Robot Wars.
That's right.
So you're responsible for all the kind of pastel and the Chinese restaurant suits and all that. That's amazing.
Yeah. You're welcome. I'm glad you like that. Just Milo. No last name or anything.
Yeah, dude. You're like Cher or Madonna or Prince. Yeah. Like, we're not even going to call you. Like, you don't even have to say, I'm Milo Dennison. You just have to say, I'm Milo.
That's
People
it,
know exactly who. Because they're like, oh, yeah, that's the production designer on Robot Wars.
Yeah.
Just get his autograph. Yeah, dude, I saw that. And I made my son come over and look at him. I'm like, check it out. Milo's involved with this travesty.
You're welcome, world. You're welcome. Well, just so you guys know, they didn't give us a lot of money for the production design. So there is that is kinda,
that's why you had to go to just like a normal town.
Yeah. The clear bricks were actually out of my bathroom that I was in the process of, remodeling. And so I just borrowed them and used them.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Good job.
Thanks. Glad you liked it.
But there you go. That's our first movie, our first kind of ambiguous, strange 80s, 90s B movie. So
watch it. Let us know what you think, people. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
You know how to do it.
You can find it if you're in the US. You can watch it free on Tubi, Tubi. Yeah. You can also rent it on Amazon. So it's available. And actually, they did a bunch of there's a remastered version. Did you know that?
Did they did they add robots warring?
Yeah, maybe they did like a George Lucas where they're like, that's another movie that needs George. See, Star Wars didn't need his baloney with all his CGI crap or whatever. But I'll tell you what movie could benefit from George Lucas's meddling, and it's this movie where he can go add his CGI, robots and actually make it a proper movie called Robot Wars. Because the only Robot Wars that happen are just one fight at the end and a couple guys playing with toys in the middle at a bar. And we can do that.
Yeah, just take the film, re-CGI everything, deep face the guy that played Drake and replace him with a completely another actor. Replace him with a CGI actor, actually.
You could put Jar Jar Binks in. It probably wouldn't be that much worse.
It'd be better. It'd be better.
Okay, so now our poll is going to be Drake from Robot Wars or Jar Jar Binks. Which one do you want to donkey punch harder?